Gonna start my double here, my up the Dub Dubbel with the Grainfather. Gotta heat my mash water up to 152. Gonna mash in. This is only gonna be a 3-gallon batch, so we'll get rocking on it. Once the mash water's up to temp, I'll get back with you. So we got her cruising up to temperature here. I'm doing a 3-gallon batch because I want to bottle something. I've been kegging my beers, and I'm kind of backstocked here on beers to keg, so I want to have something to bottle, something I can keep for a while, age for a while, so that's why I was doing this double. Got all my grains at Sunset Hydro and Homebrew and Horseheads. My boy Eric up there has a great shop. All the grains you can want. Nice mill, and you can buy portions of a pound. You know, you don't. Some homebrew shops you can just buy 1 pound of, say, Pilsner, when you might need 10.3 pounds. So, you know, you can buy portions. He's got a nice calibrated scale up there, all the equipment you want. So I always go up there for my my grains and my yeast and my hops and stuff. Good store. I'm also part of the homebrew club up there that. Unfortunately, I couldn't be there today for the big brew, but I'm doing my own tribute. So yeah, when we get up to 152, I'll mash in and I'll get back with you. Show you how it's going. So here we are, we're all mashed in. Kind of a thick mash because it's a higher gravity beer. Gotta make sure there's no dough balls in this one because, like I said, with a thick mash, you're gonna get some pockets of dry grain, and you definitely don't want that. So I think we're looking pretty good. I'll get the recirculating arm on, and we'll start recirculating. And I'll be back momentarily. So as you can see, we're pretty close to mash out. It's recirculated and cleared up pretty well. I didn't take the time to tell you, I'll tell you now about the grain bill I'm using. It's 5.3 pounds of Pilsner, Belgian Pilsner, a half a pound of Munich 10, a quarter pound of aromatic, a quarter pound of Cara Munich 2, and a quarter pound of Special B. Mostly all Dingmans, since it's a Belgian beer. I'm going to try to keep the Belgian theme with the malts. The only thing that was different was, I think, the Munich was breeze. I'm heating up my sparge water, but this is held pretty steady at 152. That's the best thing about the Grainfather, especially after you change the hysteresis. It holds the temp rock steady. I mean, you've heard a lot of problems about the boil. I haven't encountered that problem yet, especially with a smaller batch. Boils pretty rigorously. That being said, I haven't really tested a huge, like, 20-pound grain bill. You know, you see people making their own insulation jackets, and Grainfather actually sells one. I haven't got it yet. I imagine if I start brewing outside, especially in the fall, I'll grab one, but no need to do so yet. So yeah, I'm gonna heat up my sparge water. When we start sparging, I'll get back with you and we'll keep it going. Oh, one thing I didn't add to the grain bill, I forgot completely, is during the boil I'm going to add an entire pound of Belgian candy syrup, 90. So that'll increase the fermentability here. But the original recipes that I was looking through, one of them, the one I liked the most as far as the grain bill before I tweaked it to my liking, called for a mash temp of 149, which to me, you know, I mash my IPAs and double IPAs around there because I like a drier finish on those. But for Belgians, I kind of like the you know, caramely, the malty, sweeter side of those. So I changed the mash temperature to 152. Not a huge difference, but I just think 149 was really low, and I don't know. We'll see how it comes out. But like I said, heating up the sparge water. Be right back. So I got my sparge going. It's pretty much near the end. Okay. Good sparge, nice and slow. Coming out the bottom, I don't know if you can see that. Popping out. But once the sparge is over, I'll get back to you and we'll talk about the boil. So here we are waiting for the boil. We're about 194 now. Got just about 4.5 gallons pre-boil. Trying to get just a little over 3 gallons to put in the fermenter. One thing I didn't talk about is the Grainfather app on the smartphone. I use it all the time. It's a lifesaver. As most Grainfather users will tell you, Beersmith, the equipment profile never just quite matches up with the Grainfather. I mean, we've tried a bunch of different ones and they've never really panned out. Now the Grainfather app doesn't do as much as Beersmith. I mean, you can't do, it won't calculate what your, original gravity, final gravity, SRM, anything like that. Hopefully in the future it will, and hopefully in the future we can share recipes on it. But it's pretty handy app to have, timers and things like that. So I highly suggest you get it. We're waiting to come to the boil. Still at 194. I'll hit back when we achieve the boil. It smells like heaven in here. So another thing on this, I was going to take the original or the pre-boil gravity, but it's kind of senseless because in about 10 minutes left in the boil, I'm going to add a pound of candy syrup anyway. So I'll take it just for shits and giggles, but really not going to do much for you in these Belgian beers where you're adding candy syrup or fermentables through the boil. So I'll get right back at you. Stay tuned. Alright, as you can see, we're at 211. We've already got a little bit of a rolling boil going here. Due to the low wort volume, it's a little bit more rigorous a boil than you'd get with like a 7 or 8 gallon volume, obviously. So usually around 212 is what they ask for in the app, when you start your boil. But this is going to be a 90-minute boil. I did the pre-boil gravity. It was about 1.044. But with boil off and the addition of the candy syrup, I should get close to my 1.068 that I'm looking for. If you don't own a Grainfather, I suggest you get one. I mean, I got mine for just a shade under $800. You get these Blickman tier systems and stuff, and they start costing you like $3,000-$4,000, and they're great. My buddy Eric, like I was talking about, he owns one, and he brews some fantastic beers, but that kind of investment, and not to mention you can't really brew inside with those. I mean, in a regular size house, or you can do it in your garage or outdoors, but for me, like I kind of have to brew inside most of the time. Not to mention I like to, and it's easier to brew in the winter, so so on and so forth. Excuse me. But we're getting a good boil here at 211. Hasn't hit 212 yet, but should soon. I have a hop edition at 60. It's the only hop edition actually. It's Tetnanger. And then I'm going to use what's these called here? Monastery ale yeast. Used to be called Trappist yeast, but I guess the monks got on White Lab about using the name, so they changed it to Monastery Ale Yeast. I have a starter going. I didn't start it until about a day and a half ago, and I'm not sure if the cell counts up to what I'm going to need for a high gravity beer, so I bought another package. So I'm going to dump the actual package. It's one of these White Lab, what do they call them? Pure Pitch packages. I don't know if you've seen those before, but so I started one of those in a starter, and like I said, I don't think it's quite as nice as a Smack Pack, obviously, but you know, they work better than those vials. So I'll be dumping that and the starter into the fermenter. But as for right now, I'm just going to let this go until I get my hops edition. When I do, I will get back to you. I might not actually show the hops edition because I'm just going to be checking hops in there. You know, big deal. But who knows? If I'm feeling froggy, I might. So that's that. Up the Dub Belgian Double. And for all those that you don't know, Up the Dub is kind of the local cheer for the Dublin sports teams in Ireland. I'm more of a Clare man myself, but my friend Fiona lives in Dublin, and we have a few friends that live there. Spent some time there myself, so a tribute, if you will. Not to mention I've gotten drunk there so many times I can't count. Gotten kicked out of a lot of good places in Dublin, so we'll get back to you. 60-minute hop edition, 1 ounce of Tetnang, hop sock, riveting. Alright, so we're around 20 minutes left in the boil. Gonna add the candy sugar, D90 premium dark Belgian candy syrup. I've been running it under hot water to loosen up the sides, make sure it all gets out into the pot. So there we go. Look at all that extra alcohol. Taste it. So a full 1 pound is going in. Let's stir that up. And about as riveting as the Tetnang edition. But I think I got most of it. Alright, like I said, I'm going to stir it up, get it a boiling, and I'll see you when I'm cooling. Alright, so here we are. Got the wort chiller picked up. Going down into the carboy. I don't know if you can see it, but the end of the carboy got one of those wipes. It's actually supposed to be used for sparging, but the wort just runs over that. I quick sanitized it. See it. Anyway, we sanitized it, and I think it kind of helps with aeration. Haven't taken the final gravity yet. I'm gonna wait till it's all in the carboy. But yeah, everything went well. I'm going to get as much as I can in the carboy. I'll take the final gravity, and then I will say my goodbyes. So sad. So that's it. That's the end of the brew day. All the yeast pitched. And a nice clean sanitized carboy. Got to clean up the Grainfather here. Get it all shiny for the next brew. Original gravity was 1.67, so I just missed my point, but we'll see. I'll make another video when I open it to drink. So until then, have a good brew day.